tuning in. I just want to say welcome. My name is Cathy McReynolds, and I am the founder of Bible Business Academy. And what we do, we help people build businesses with biblical principles. So I'm going to go ahead, which I'm doing now. You guys are seeing me look down there. I'm sharing that to our group. And we are on light delay. So as you come on, if you have questions, just go ahead and make sure that you say, hey, I got a question. And let me share this to the group now. And you can go ahead and get that question answered while you're in. And so while you guys are coming on, because this is new and we're just putting this out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share it to one more place, to our page. Let me know as you come on whether you're catching this during the live or replay, what business you have or thinking about being in, and what is your biggest challenge when it comes to business, especially building it with biblical principles. Being of this world and not being in this world, but not of this world. Like, what challenges additional challenges do you face when you're looking at building your business with biblical principles? I love to know that and what type of business that you have. So guys, while we're waiting on some questions, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just share with you guys some tips on business and what you should be doing and some of the things you should consider when you're building your business. So I'm going to give you 12 tips. And if any come in the comment section and we see them pop up, I can see them in the chat. I'm looking at you guys, and normally I always go, I can't see the chat, but I can see the chat, and we'll be able to see it during the session. So if you pop on here and you got a question or you're catching this during the replay, make sure you go ahead and drop your questions in the chat section and we'll be sure to answer them. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and give you 12 tips on building a business. Number one, you have to have mastery over procrastination. See, the reason why a lot of people don't get things done is because they procrastinate. When you make a decision to do something, you just have to set a date and time. That's part of the goal setting. Then do it. Done is better than perfect. You got to get it done. And the more you do it, the better you can get at it. So you have to master procrastination. That is just the enemy trying to get you not to do God's will and do the work. And you can't win. You can't let the enemy win on that one. Number two, you got to be enthusiastic. You got to be excited about your business. You got to be so excited about what you're doing that it doesn't seem like work. I was talking to my niece and she was like, man, I don't know how you are so disciplined to do what you do, because it's not work to me. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm in my purpose. When you live in your purpose and you're doing the will of God and you're doing your assignment, you just do it and you don't even think about it. It's not like work. It is actually living out your purpose. And when you get in that zone, it's like, sports player, they get in that zone. When you're in that zone, it's a love of the game. So business to me is like a sport. Number three, you have to develop habit force. And those are habits that will lead to success. Not just you as a company, but the people that you're serving, the people that you are put here to help. There are certain habits that you have to develop. You also want to develop a positive attitude. We were on our call earlier today, and don't forget, guys, as you come on, even if I'm in the middle of this, if you have a question about building a business with biblical principles, if it's about business, if it's about marketing, sales, or personal development, go ahead and drop those in the comments, in the chat. I can see those and we will answer those as they come in. So while we're waiting on those, I'll go ahead and just continue reading our 12 tips on building your business. And we were on number 4, which is develop a positive attitude. Attitude is everything. I'm telling you, if you got to wake up excited, you got to be positive no matter what happens with you. You got to stay positive. I was just telling someone that whenever that negativity, that negative thought comes into your head, just say to yourself, I'm going back to my regularly scheduled programming. And so your regularly scheduled program is who you decided that you were going to become. And if you haven't made that decision on who you want to become and who you decided you wanted to become, that is something that I highly suggest that you want to do right away. Number 5, you got to be willing to pay the full price, part-time price. You got to be willing to pay the full price, paying the full, like Paul said, I have finished the race. Like I've done everything that I've done. Like when you know that you've given in your all, and you know that God can be proud of, that you did his calling and what he said for you to do, then you feel good about that. And it might be time for you to leave earth, or it might be time for you to leave that assignment and go to the next assignment. He knows the plans that he has for you. And he said that I knew it before you were in your mother's womb. So you have to trust in the process, and trust and have faith in God that you're walking in your purpose. And you'll know when you're in your purpose. I'm telling you, it's a totally different zone on how you feel. And you got to learn, number 6, learn to speak on your feet. Learn to speak on your feet. And like sometimes that could definitely be a challenge, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I often tell the story of me going online and going live. Like, this is not who I am, but it's who I had to become in order to do the work that was put in front of me to do. And so that's what you have to look at. How can you learn to speak on your feet, be willing to share at the drop of a hat, and do it whether you feel comfortable with it or not? So you have to be willing to do that. And again, guys, every Tuesday, 12:15 Eastern time, you can join us as we do live question and answer sessions. So if you're catching this during the replay and you're like, man, I missed it, you can either drop your question in the comment section and we'll still answer those, or we'll answer them next week, or join us next lunchtime. That's why we're doing it at 12:15, so that we can get that question answered for you. And that's Eastern Standard Time. And if you're just dropping in, my name is Cathy McReynolds at Bible Business Academy. We have memberships of academies, and we help you build businesses using biblical principles. We have a goal as a company to, over the next 3 years, to help 1,000 people build a kingdom business, so that we can use those resources to help grow the kingdom. That's our whole purpose of being here and of existing. Number 7, you have to learn to handle your emotions. That is so crucial. Winners don't whine, and they don't wallow. So you have to get in that position where you know, it's just like when Jesus went in and he turned over the tables because they were doing stuff that they didn't have any business doing, and he knew that they weren't supposed to do. So he had anger in that moment, but you can't because every now and then you're human, so you're going to experience like outbursts, but you got to learn to handle those or correct those as quick as possible, but never go to bed with that anger on you, and don't let it last. Like, this is when you can say, back to my regularly scheduled prayer. Don't let it last too long where it's messing with you and you can't get back to where you need to be, so you can live in your purpose and do what you need to do. So as you come on, remember, if you have a question about building your business with biblical principles, now is your time to go ahead and drop those in the comments, and we will answer those questions. I will see them in the chat here. So maybe that's on the marketing, sales, personal development, or advertising, whatever the case is. If you have a question on that, go ahead and drop that in the comment section, and we'll get those questions answered for you tonight. Right now, what we're doing while we're going through this, I'm sharing 12 tips on being in business, and we are on number 8. Learn to handle criticism. And I always tell people, if they talked about Jesus Christ, they're going to talk about you. So it's okay. Like, give them something to talk about, and never feel that you have to defend yourself. I want you to, like, just meditate on, read the word, read the Bible, and see all the examples of how people handle when people are criticizing them and coming against them. And that's our goal, is to handle that like Jesus would do. Like, literally, the bracelets say, what would Jesus do? That's how you want to be able to do that when you have those criticism. And then number 9 is the law of attraction. And the way the law of attraction is, whatever you put out is what you're going to get back. Okay, whatever you put out is what you're going to attract to you? Are you putting good in the world? Are you putting, love and joy and peace and understanding and excitement and all of that? Are you going to be perfect 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But is that your intent to put that out? Because that is crucial to building a business. Very, very crucial. And then number 10 is persistence. Persistence. You gotta be persistent at what you do. People have to know that you're going to show up and you're going to open up, right? And it's kind of like if you're running, especially if you have an online business, like some people will start it and then they don't finish it, or 1 week they're on and the next week they're not. When you make a decision to do something, do it. Let people know when you're going to show up and when they can count on seeing you there. Like every Monday through Thursday, we meet with our sales team at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So they know that I'm going to be there. And if for some reason I can't be for a vacation or personal reasons or something, then I assign someone else to take over that show. So when you're building your business, it's the same thing. People have to know that they can count on you. Same thing with your emails. If you're sending out emails and they know with consistency, do you post every day? Do you post do you email every day, every other week? When you're putting out your social media, how is that coming out? Is it on a consistent basis? Can people count on you to show up and provide that value? And believe it or not, because I do this, there are certain things that you look for every single day or every single week that you know that whoever you're following and what they're doing and how they're serving, you know you can count on them. Imagine if you go to church on Sunday and all of a sudden they're like, well, pastor didn't show up today. Ain't no church today. You'd be like, what the what? Like, so you have to treat your business the exact same way. So guys, as you're coming on here, make sure if you got questions about building your business with biblical principles and you got questions around, the biblical aspect of adding that to your business, got questions about marketing, sales, advertising, or personal development, drop those in the comments, because that's what we're here for. And we'll be here every Tuesday at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. So if you're catching it during the replay, you can go ahead and drop your questions in there. Number 11 is worry, the ability to handle pressure. Like leaders and business owners are problem solvers. So you're going to always have something coming up against you. How you solve them and the problems that you solve is the solutions that you're going to have. And when those solutions, they'll turn into sales. Because if you can provide solutions for the people that you're serving, they're going to be willing to pay you for that, and you deserve to get paid. It is no different if you found a lump or something, God forbid, hopefully none of that is happening. But if you found one, then you're going to go to a specialist and you're willing to pay that specialist a premium price to save your life. And that's the same thing in business. Whatever you're doing, don't do it for the money. Do it because you have been gifted, or that is your purpose, to be able to help people in a certain kind of way. And then people will pay you that premium and that specialty price in order to help them. So that is crucial. And number 12, y'all, the final one before we head off of here is decision maker. You got to listen, leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, you make decisions. Sometimes they're not popular, sometimes they are popular, but guess what? You are decisive. You make decisions quick. Don't change them often. You stick with what you're saying you're going to do. That is the sound of a leader. And that's what leaders do. So guys, before we end here, because these calls are only like 15 to 20 minutes to get your questions answered, I want to remind you that you can go to and download our free report on how to grow a business with biblical principles. You can go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com to do that. You can also pick up a copy of our Believe and Grow Rich. Wait, hold on. Let me get that in there. I'm in this virtual background, so I don't even know if that's not showing up. Okay, that's okay. Let's see. Okay, we got to work on that, fixing that, because that's not working. All right, but that's our Believe and Grow Rich planner, and also you can pick that up at believeandgrowrich.com. You can get any of these on Amazon. You got to learn to laugh at yourself too when it don't work out the way you want it to work out. And the next thing that you can do is pick up a copy of our book at on Amazon or at BibleBusinessAcademy.com. If you go there, we're actually going to give you a free copy of it. So if I don't see anything on there, I just wanted to hang out with you guys for lunch and learn, where we're going to call this our question and answer session for about 10 to 15 minutes. Get any questions that you have. So make sure you tell somebody about this, share it, but you can